Hey everyone, it's the final match in the 8-26 stretch. Can we cap it off with 3 points? Let's break it down how we can do it coming up next. What's going on, 5-Stripe fam? I'm AJ, and welcome to a match preview for Saturday's match against the Chicago Fire. Before we get started, become a member of the Notification Squad on YouTube by hitting the bell next to the subscribe button, or hop over from Facebook and subscribe. So finally, it's the last in a brutal stretch for the 5 Stripes, in which we saw 5 straight wins and shutouts. We saw 2 straight losses, and we saw that rectifying win against Minnesota United on Wednesday, in which we finally saw more than one goal for once, and Joseph Martinez got a brace, so that's fantastic. We'll have the match review next week on 5 Stripe Weekly. But in terms of this week, Chicago Fire, they're on a decent run of form in their last 6 with a draw, a win, another win, a loss, and 2 draws. And those 2 draws recently came against DC United, so that's a pretty decent result, and a 1-1 draw against NYCFC. It's a pretty ugly loss when it's a 4-1 beatdown from the San Jose Earthquakes. Now, our history against the Fire, now we have that 4-0 win at Bobby Dodd, of course, in 2017. And then we lost 2-0 against them at home. And then we won 2-1 against them in 2018. Now, we also, of course, lost that 1-0 in the US Open Cup, in which there was some heavy rotation. And so, yeah, they were probably prioritizing it a little bit more than we were. But of course, we kind of a little bit quelled that result with a 2-1 win in 2018 at the Benz. But let's get to Chicago Fire and their strengths. And they're a team that has scored a decent amount of goals. They like to play in a 4-2-3-1 shape, and they have players that can put the ball in the back of the net, with the likes of Alexander Katai with 3 goals and 4 assists already. Nico Gaitan, their newest signing, 2 goals and 4 assists already. CJ Sapong, 6 goals and 1 assist. Of course, Bastian Schweinsteiger, who's now a central defender, is chipping in with 2 assists. And Nemanja Nikolic, still a very potent scorer, 5 goals already. Now, in terms of their injury report, Nico Gaitan is questionable with a thigh injury. And so this would be a big boon because he is their creative playmaker, and that would severely limit their chances if he cannot start. But for Atlanta United, of course, we have George Bello out with that adductor injury, still out 2 to 3 months from that timetable when he was announced. And Brandon Vasquez is coming back and has trained with the team, Kevin Kratz as well. And unfortunately, Tito Villalba has been ruled out of this match as well. Frank de Boer did mention after the Minnesota United match that we may see him at the earliest in the second US Open Cup match should we advance. Now, getting into the officials, we have Nima Sagafi as the center ref. We have the assistants Adam Winchowski and CJ Morgante. 4th official Fotis Bazakos, and VAR Ricardo Salazar. And with the assistant VAR Jeff Musick. Now, Braguzan had this to say about the Chicago Fire. He said, quote, "We gotta make sure come Saturday we finish it off and get another 3 points. The East is tight. 1 or 2 games this way or that way can certainly move you up a few places or move you down a few places. There's a lot of soccer to be played still, but for us, it's important that we take care of business at home." So for Atlanta United, Joseph Martinez leads the team with 7 goals, and Ezequiel Barco is still in second with 4 goals, even after being out a few weeks. Now, in terms of assists, Julian Gressel leads the team with 3, along with Tito Villalba with 3 as well. Now, what are the implications for this match? Looking at the top of the table in the East, DC United are back up, and they have usurped the Philadelphia Union by 1 point. And Montreal Impact are still kind of maybe deceivingly so with that goal difference in 3rd. and Atlanta United sit fourth right above the New York Red Bulls by 2 points. Now, Atlanta United can jump into a tie for first place if we get all 3 points and the teams above us all lose. And also, we still have 2 games in hand for many of the teams above us. Let's get into some match facts. Some interesting tidbits are that Atlanta United have kept a clean sheet in their last 4 home matches in MLS. Chicago have failed to win their last 19 away matches. That's pretty insane and bodes well for this match. Atlanta United have also been winning at halftime and full time in their last 3 matches. So let's get to Atlanta United's starting 11. Now, you saw Minnesota United sit back a little bit more on Atlanta United, and I think Chicago Fire are looking to do the same with long balls over the top and trying to test us from distance. But I think the formation and the style that we played on Wednesday will bode well again with a 4-3-3. Now, Guzan, of course, with that triple save, he did very well, will return between the sticks. I think Escobar with that rest on Saturday will still be decently fresh for Saturday if he gets taken off and maybe Michael Parkhurst is subbed on later on. I think he can still make a big impact in this match, Franco Escobar. Now, Miles Robinson returns as the right center back, and also I think Florentine Pogba should come in for this match. Now, LGP was an absolute warrior, like we mentioned, for playing through, bleeding on the pitch from his head, all wrapped up. It was insane, but I think, just a little bit of reprieve for him, and, some good rest will do him some good. I think, even though he played very, very well after that injury. Now, sitting in at left back, in left back will be Brek Shea. I think he came on, he looked fresh, and already looked to pump in a few chances. I think Parky has been a little worn out this month, and he's admitted it. So pretty much after most matches, he's admitted to the press that he's been a little exhausted, as has the rest of the team. Now, let's get into that midfield, into that 3-man midfield. I think it's Jeff Marinowicz coming in. Now, he just passed his 400th appearance a couple matches ago, and I think now he will get a start on this Saturday against a former club of his. And I think Eric Remedi will sit this one, and Darlington Nagbe still will be in this midfield, but the other midfielder will be Julian Gressel. I think, he's been playing a lot recently, but we have just not really a glut of midfielders that we can really go to, and I think a little bit of a kind of first half appearance for Julian Gressel, and then maybe an Eric Remedi second half appearance will really shore out this part of the pitch. But getting onto the attackers, I thought Dion Pereira did fantastically well with 5 dribbles and creating a lot of chances. Now, the final product maybe wasn't quite there, but I think he's really improved drastically since he's been able to make his debut. And so this is, I think, another way for him to get another run out to show what he has in his locker. Now, I think P.T. Martinez, because he was subbed off early, I think with this match in mind, I think P.T. Martinez starts again, and I think he will affect this game even more because he's really, really close. I think he's very close to finding that final ball, and I know a lot of the fans have some issue with his work rate still. Like even if he gets fouled, yes, he's gonna be on the ground a little bit. It's just kind of the player he is. So I don't think we should expect a Miggy work rate again. I think I bang on this every single week, but there's still some people that just are PT doubters. It is what it is. But and that gets us up top and it's got to be none other than the king, Jose Martinez. With the brace previously against Minnesota United, I think he's going to start again. I mean, when you have him on a hot streak, you cannot sit him. Now, maybe there is a substitute later on when, and maybe hopefully we are comfortably up, but we shall see in the score prediction. Now let's get to the odds for this match. Atlanta United have a 63.7% chance to win this match according to Bet365, and for a draw it's at a 25% chance, and Chicago to win at a paltry 18.2%. Now I think a big factor is that big winless streak on the road. Now what's my prediction? It's going to be, I think, a tough one here, but I am going with the odds a little bit and going with a 3-1 win. I think that we can build on that performance from Minnesota United and add those goals to our tally again. I think Chicago Fire, because they are decently clinical, they will grab one, and it's kind of uncharacteristic because we haven't really let in very many in this long stretch. We have been very stout defensively, but I think they are going to get one because of the fatigue. So a 3-1 win, that's a very good result, and it caps off a very decent month in this tough stretch where we would win 6 matches. That's 18 in 24. I think we would have taken that every single time if you had told us that in the beginning of the month. So guys, that's our match preview. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already. Smash that like button and share this video because it really does help us a lot. I'm AJ. Thank you guys so much for watching.